Hello, Mary C. Williams friends. This is Miss Britt here. Today is Thursday, and I am going to be reviewing multiples and factors with you. Okay? So let's just review the vocabulary. You learned about multiples on Tuesday. You learned about factors on Wednesday. Today we're going to practice using both. So the multiples are like when you skip count. So in this multiplication sentence, that's what this is called. This is called a multiplication sentence. In this multiplication sentence, my multiple is 20. 20 is the multiple, but 20 is a multiple of the number 4 and of the number 5. Because when I do my multiples of 4, I say 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now, for those of you that are just tuning in today, maybe, to figure out your multiples, it's like skip counting. So you say 4, and then you add 4 more to it. You have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12. So 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, which we've got here, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then 20 is our 5th multiple. So that's what we've been working on. Now, I don't want you to be at all confused because I want you to know that 4 times 5 gives you an answer, right? So one word that you can use is 20 is the answer. Absolutely. But I also want you to understand that the product is specifically the answer you get when multiplying. So you learned that word last year. So not only is 20 called an answer, it's also called a product, but now you're learning that it's also called a multiple. All right? I hope you're with me. So multiples are like when you skip count. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And then, of course, we have 5. The multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. Now, these are not all of the multiples. Those dots mean that this goes on and on forever. So I just wanted to show you that 20 is a multiple of 4 and a multiple of 5. All right, so that's your word, your vocabulary word, multiples. Now let's jump over here to factors. All right, factors are the numbers that you multiply together. So those are the numbers that you multiply together to get an answer. But remember, an answer when you are multiplying is called a product. So this right here is my product or my answer. But remember, it's also called a multiple. Absolutely, it's also called a multiple. But the two numbers that I'm multiplying together, the 4 and the 5, they have specific names too. These are called factors. So those are the numbers that I multiply together to get the answer. So factors are going to be the numbers that I multiply together. So that's your quick review of what they are. Since we're looking at 20, let's go ahead and just do the factors of 20 real fast. Let's see. Just checking to make sure you guys don't have that one to do. Nope, you don't. Let me get another color because this one's not good. So to do the factors of 20, you write the number 20 and you make a T-chart like this. It's just called a T-chart because it looks like a T. And then you start writing the factors of 20. You always start with 1 and the number. So 1 and 20. 1 times 20 gives me 20. Absolutely, that is correct. And then you have to kind of start guessing to see if it works. If you don't know, you have to it's called trial and error. You have to pick a number and then you have to try it. But you should pick numbers in order. So 1, you know, every single number is going to have 1 times itself, so that's always going to be there. But then the next number is 2, so let's test it. If I count by 2s, am I going to say 20? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. How many fingers do I have up? Perfect, I have up 10 fingers. So that means 2 times 10 also equals 20. Perfect. Now let's test 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Did I say 20? No. I skipped over it. I went from 18 to 21. So since I skipped over it, 3 will not work. So I'm going to erase it. Now I'm going to say 4. I'm going to skip count by 4s just to keep showing you and making sure that you remember how to do this. But since I already have it up here, I know that it's going to work. 4, 8, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So 4 times, perfect. 4 times 5. Now, something wonderful happens right here. Whenever you are doing it in order, what happens is, see how close these numbers are? If I was looking at numbers on a number line, so if I had a number line, 0 to 10, if I had a number line 0 to 10, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If I had a number line to 10, then 4 and 5 are right beside each other on my number line. See that they're right beside each other? Because they're right beside each other, that means I'm done. There are no more factors. When I'm counting, I say 4 and then I say 5. So whenever you get 2 numbers that are side by side, or you get 2 numbers that are exactly the same, you're done. All of your factors have been figured out. So those are the factors of 20. We have reviewed what multiples are. So now I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing for your work today. So you got multiples and you've got factors. I'm going to erase. I'll be right back. All right, my friends. So I just put a quick little visual up here so we don't forget. Remember, the factors are the numbers we're multiplying together, and the multiple is the answer that you get, or when you're skip counting by 4s, eventually you're going to say 20. And when you're skip counting by 5s, eventually you're going to say 20. Now I'm going to show you your work real fast so you know how to relate what we're about to do to your work. This is the document that is on your Google Classroom today. This is what you are going to be completing. So you have a table, and on this side you have the number that you are using. So the very first number you're going to use is 9. In the first column, you are going to list the first 3 multiples of 9. In the second column, you are going to list the factors of 9. Now, Miss Caldwell and I have made it easy for you to know how many factors you should have because we have put just enough boxes here for the number of factors that each one of the numbers has. So 9 has, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it has 3 factors, but one of them is going to be repeated. So you have just enough boxes to put your factors in. 16 has 6 factors. So there's 6 spaces here for you to put in your numbers. 24 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factors. So that's why those boxes are so much bigger than the first one. Same thing on this page. The number 11 only has 2 factors, so you only have 2 boxes. And then the number 36, you have the right number of boxes that you need, and the same thing for 18. I'll go ahead and tell you on your test, when you take your quiz for this, we're not going to tell you exactly how many boxes you need for your factors. So make sure that you're paying attention on how to solve and figure out your factors, because this is you still learning. This is us helping you by giving you the right number of boxes. We're not going to give you the right number of boxes on your test. We're going to give you the same number of boxes for every single problem, and you have to figure out how many of those boxes you're actually going to use when you're doing the factors. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. So the first number that we're going to do today is 7. I want us to do the multiples of 7. And since we only have to do the first 3 on your work, we're only going to do the first 3 on here. When I'm doing multiples, I put my 7, I put my colon, that tells me that I'm about to make a list. What's the very first multiple every single time? What's my very first multiple? Yes, the number itself. So 7, and then comma. The next multiple is, in case you're still having trouble figuring out how to do this, put 7 in your head and add 7 more. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. My next multiple is 14. What's my next multiple? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Perfect. So the first 3 multiples of the number 7 are 7, 14, 21. So that's how you're going to put it on your paper. Now, in my video, I showed you how that relates to multiplication. 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 7 is 21. So this tells you that it's the first 3 multiples times 1, times 2, times 3. Okay? Now let's do the factors of 7. You put 7 on top, which we have already done for you. We just wrote it out for you. So this is your T chart. Just imagine this being the T right here in the middle. Put your 7, draw your line. What are the first set of factors for every single number? Perfect. 1 times itself, whatever the number is. All right. Now let's trial and error. 2. When I count by 2s, do I say 7? 2, 4, 6, 8. Nope, I skipped right over. I went from 6 to 8. So nope, 2 doesn't work. Let's try 3. 3, 6, 9. Nope, I went from 6 to 9. 3 doesn't work. Let's try 4. 4, 8. Nope. And once that happens, once you're like, oh, 4, 8, nope. 5, 10, nope. 6, 12, nope. 7, well, we already have it, so we're there. So what does that mean? That means that 7 only has 2 factors. And well, that makes sense because, well, I thought it was on your chart. It's not. Sorry. So 7 only has 2 factors. So the factors of 7 are 1, 7. Those are my factors. And that's how you would write it if you were writing it on your paper and turning it in. On your chart, you would be putting it into the boxes. All right, my friends, let's do another one. Let's do 12. All right, 12. Multiples of 12. What's the very first multiple every single time? Perfect. Whatever the number is, your very first multiple is 12 because 12 times 1, right? That's what that's for. What's the next multiple? And if you don't want to skip count, but you know your multiplication facts, you can say, well, if 12 times 1 is 12, what's 12 times 2? Oh yeah, 24. What's my third one? 12 times 3 is perfect, 36. So my first 3 multiples are 12, 24, and 36. Looking good in the neighborhood. Let's move on to factors. Put 12, make my T-chart. Always start with what? Yes, 1 times 12. And then we need to test out every other number until we get to 12. So start testing with 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Ooh, I said it. So that means 2 times 6 because it was the 6th multiple. Now I've got to test 3. Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12. Perfect. Uh-oh, what happened? My numbers are side by side. I have a 3 and a 4. So because these numbers are side by side, that means I'm done with my factors, right? I'm done with my factors. So 3 times 4 is the last set of factors. And if I wanted to write those out, I would say 1, 2, because just like Miss Caldwell told you in her video, she said you have to go in numerical order. She said to go down and then up. Numerical order means put them in number order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Those are the factors of the number 12. Perfect. Let's do another one. We're going to do a big one. Let's do 32. 32. The multiples of 32. What's my very first multiple? Absolutely. My very first multiple is 32. Now, I do not expect you to count from 32 times on your fingers. So what you need to do when you have bigger numbers and you're trying to figure out the multiples is you need to say to yourself, 32 plus 32 is 64. So my next multiple is 64. And then when you get to 64, you need to add 32 again to figure out what your next multiple is. All you're doing is adding 32. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 96. So my third multiple is 96. This is how I'm figuring it out, but the only thing I need to know is whatever my multiples are. So the first 3 multiples of 32 are 32, 64, and 96. All right, let's come over here to our T-chart. Very first set of factors is what? Yes, 1 in itself. 1 times 32. Now we've got to test 2. I always test it by skip counting. It also helps you get your facts down pat. 2, 4, 6. I'm going to need more fingers than this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. So I had 10 plus 6 is 16. So 2 times 16. And just to make sure that I didn't make a mistake, you can always go off to the side and say 2 times 16 is just like saying 16 plus 16. 6 plus 6 is 12. 32. So yeah, I was right. Perfect. Now let's try 3. All right, we need all my fingers. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33. Nope, I went over. 3 doesn't work. Now I'm going to try my 4s. I'll put my 4 there as a placeholder. I'm trying my 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Woohoo! 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 8 is 32. I love when these numbers start getting close together, because when they start getting close together, you know you're getting close to done. Let's check with 5s. I don't really have to check to see if 5 works because I know that the only way 5 will work is if this number right here is a 0 or a 5. Since it's not, the number in the ones place is not a 0 or a 5, I don't have to check it, but I'm just going to check it in case you guys didn't know that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Nope, I skipped over it. Let's try 6. 6, 12. What comes next? 18, 24, 30, 36. I skipped over it. 6 doesn't work. The last number I can try is 7 because there's 8. So I'm going to test 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. Nope, skipped over it. So that means I am done. Those are my factors for 32. Let's do 21. Let's do the number 21. All right, 21. I need the first 3 multiples of 21. What's my very first multiple, friends? It's always going to be the number. Perfect. 21. Now, if you don't know what the next one is, all you have to do is add 21 underneath it, and you get 42. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 42. Perfect. Next multiple. Add 21 to 42. We get 2 plus 1 is 3. 4 plus 2 is 6. 63. Perfect. So my first 3 multiples of 21 are 21, 42, and 63. Let's come on over here and let's do the factors of 21. Make my T-chart. Very first set of factors is always going to be, yes, 1 times itself. Whatever that number is, 1 times that number. I can check 2, but I know that because that number on the end is odd, that 2 is not going to work. But I'm going to show you anyway. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. I skipped right over it, so that means that is not a factor. Let's go to 3. Let's test 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So 3 times 7. That works. Let's do 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. I skipped over it, so that doesn't work. Let's try 5. I know 5's not going to work because the number in the ones place is not a 0 or a 5, but I'm just going to test it and show you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I skipped right over it. Let's try 6. 6, 12. What's next? 18. Come on, you can do it. 6, 12, 18, 24. So nope, 6 doesn't work either. We've already got 7, so that means our factors are finished. They are done. So we have the factors of 21 and the multiples of 21. All right, last one, 45. Let's do the multiples of 45. And we're going to do the factors of 45. Multiples of 45. Multiples of 45. First one is always going to be, yes, 45. I'm going to add another 45 to it to see what my second multiple is. That's a 10, 8, and 9. My next multiple is 90. Okay, I'm at 90. Let's do the next multiple. 5 and 13, 135. Perfect. At any point throughout this video, you could have paused it if you needed me to slow down a little bit, just so you know. 45, 90, 135. Those are the first 3 multiples. Let's do the factors. 1 times, you got it, 45. I can test my 2's, but I don't have to because 5 is an odd number. Because it's odd, that means that 2 is not going to work. 2 only works when the numbers are even. But I'm going to prove it to you. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, and I already skipped over it. Kind of got lost of where I was. Sorry about that. But you never heard me say 45. I went from 42 to 44 to 46. So I skipped right over it. All right, let's try 3. Now, if you're not good at counting in your head, then my other suggestion to you is to write them down as you do it. And if you write them down, you'll be able to use it later. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45. I did say 45, so 3 times something, 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 3 times 15 gives me 45. Next, let's try our 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. Did I say 45? No, I did not. So 4s do not work. Let's try 5s. I can go ahead and tell you 5 is going to work because the number is ending with a 5, so that means 5 will work. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Which one is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 times 9. Let me try my 6s. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. Did I say 45? Nope, 6s won't work. Let me try my 7s. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. Does that work? Nope. And all I have left to try is 8 because I've already used 9. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. Does 8 work? Nope. So that means I have found all of the factors of 45. I need to write them out. I start with the smallest number and go in numerical order all the way up to the greatest number. 1, 3, 5, 9, 15, and 45. All right, my friends, I hope you found this video helpful. And remember that you are completing your work on Google Docs today on your Google Classroom. And we have provided the right number of boxes, so make sure that you figure out all of the factors. Talk to you soon. Thanks so much.